You as well. Could you please say hello to Stephen? Apparently you don't call as much as you used to.
Hello, Stephen. I'll be home around 10.
Hold on, I'm hearing we have a medical emergency here. Is there a fake American doctor in the house? If there is, let's get him out here. Will you please welcome Hugh Laurie?
Welcome to the house of fun. Now I've come of age. Welcome to the house of fun. Welcome to the lion's den. Temptations on its way. Welcome to the house of fun.
Hugh Laurie. Thank you. Bearded and hunky for your viewing pleasure. Hey, congratulations on the huge success of House. I mean, it's a massive hit, isn't it?
Thank you. I don't know about massive. Enormous, perhaps. Immense. No, it is. It's done awfully well. I'm very
It's
proud.
not got quite the same impact here yet, has it? Because I know it hasn't. It was shown on Channel 5. I think
it was shown on Channel 5, and now it's moved to Sky. Sky 1.
Sky One.
And hooray!
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm a late comer to it. I didn't see the early ones.
Why? Why would that be?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I wasn't sure whether I'd care for it, and I didn't want to see you make a big tit of yourself if you were rubbish in it.
Yes.
But you did. You're great.
Very similar. In fact, more so.
Were you concerned, really, when you took it off?
Of course. Except that you have the... if it doesn't work, it never gets that far.
Yeah.
That's really the one advantage. If you do a pilot and nobody likes it, it never gets seen.
I tell you what I love about the show is there's always an unusual medical problem at the heart of the show.
That is pretty much it.
Pretty much. There's always an unusual... I mean, there's lots more to it than unusual. And I like to sort of guess along at home and see whether I can get it right and to see whether I can diagnose these patients correctly.
That's phenomenal. Good on you.
Would you like to know how many times I've got it right?
Yes, I would.
Not once.
Really?
I don't think anyone could possibly get it right, could they?
It's pretty obscure stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, we have had, on several occasions, we have had stories where the writer has actually got a hold of some medical thing and has called up very brilliant doctors with very big heads and said, is this possible? Could this happen? And he's talking to a doctor who actually says, I'm going to have to look that up. I've never even heard of it. Yeah. I'll call you back. They are that weird, some of these things.
That's what makes it so much fun. And I was curious as to whether or not, when you're doing it, whether you have actually learned much, whether you could now, if someone came to you with a certain set of ailments and you could look at the condition and diagnose correctly.
I'd give it a go.
But in real life, do you feel at all like
well, no,
an amateur?
I've got to, you see, having a brain the size of a walnut, I can actually only remember things for about 20 minutes. So when I'm doing the scene, I understand this stuff for about 20 minutes, but beyond that, it's gone. I can't retain anything.
Which is probably useful, though, I would have thought, because unless you're actually going to study
in
properly.
life, it actually is rather useful.
Yeah. And in acting, I would have thought as well.
Acting, less so if you're on stage, for example, because you've got to relearn Othello every night. You
can make some bits up.
Yes, who's going to know? Yes, I suppose so. Yes, you've got to sort of... You've got to clear the old stuff off the shelf before you move on to
Do you miss acting on stage? Do you miss doing live work like that? Because I guess this contract ties you up for pretty much most of the year. I know you get a bit of film work in between.
There's not much... Well, I don't miss plays. I've only done one play.
Which one was that?
I did a play called Gasping by Ben Elton.
I remember.
Ran at the Haymarket Theatre for... I did it for about 5 months. And I thought I was going to go out of my mind. Actually, no, wait a minute. I did go out of my mind. I just doing the same thing 8 times a week, saying the same words, standing in the same spot. I wanted to put a gun in my mouth.
So it's not something that you feel is missing from your life right now?
I couldn't do it again. Okay. I actually started to have out-of-body experiences. It was really very frightening.
While on stage?
Yeah. I would sort of leave my body and float around the upper circle and sit next to people and eat their crisps, and it was really strange.
Have a little chat?
Yeah.
But that's a weird thing. Genuinely, you did feel like you were looking in on yourself?
Yes.
That must have been
It's
worrying.
horrible. It's actually very frightening. I really did think I was losing my
And did you seek help for that, or did you just work through it?
I just... Seek help? I didn't see... That never even occurred to me that I could seek help.
You didn't
What's the matter with me? Oh, it's too late now, of course. I should have sought help, shouldn't I?
Yeah, but
no, I just thought this is what stage actors do. This is something you just have to go through. This is.
That's not normal.
It isn't normal.
No, it's not normal.
Well, it can't be normal. There was a bloke who was in Cats, beginning to end, 16 years, doing the same part as a cat. I mean, Othello's one thing, but there's a cat. Wow, and the whiskers every night like that.
Where's he now? You bet he lives with an old lady somewhere, doesn't he?
Yes.
Lots of newspapers stacked up everywhere. Hey, well, now, before we have a look at a clip from House, this is the new series. This is Series 5, and I think it's already started on Sky One.
Right, yes.
And there's already some great plot lines, and there's a great kind of big story arc as well, involving, I get the feeling there, maybe we're going to see a bit more of his human side, a bit more of the emotions that lurk under the surface.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean, the character's really based on originally was based on Sherlock Holmes. He is supposedly, you know, one half of his brain very highly developed and the other half much, much less.
So in that way that some people aren't connected to their emotions, but...
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Oh. Who are you thinking of? I'm thinking of a couple of people. Never mind. But as the thing unfolds, we do get a glimpse a little more of his, what emotional workings he has.
This is going to sound like a silly question, but he has a limp.
He does have a limp.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
And which leg is the limp on?
It's in his right leg.
Do you ever forget which leg is meant to be the limpy leg?
No.
It was a silly question.
Well, it didn't exactly fly, did it? I wasn't able to come up with my famous right leg anecdote, where I do the voices and everything. No, I don't forget that.
No.
Partly because I sort of, in my head, I make it hurt. It does hurt.
You actually make it hurt?
I do. It does hurt.
Do you ever put something in your shoe to physically make it hurt?
No, that would be just a cheap trick. No, I actually just sort of, to me it hurts when I'm doing it.
It's one of the biggest hits on American television. Deserves to be an even bigger hit here than it is already. Have a look at this.